Inspector General Black sits out into the Beggar's Nest with her holy defender in search of Jemanie for questioning. Actually, the summer solstice is probably another appropriate time to talk about the calendar of Forgotten Realms, another overdue topic, as we're going to hear more about it as Lilly and Linu will soon start discussing astrology. The calendar is called the Calendar of Harptos, named after the long-dead wizard who invented it, though most don't bother referring to it by name, as it's the only calendar they use. As has been mentioned, there are 365 days in a year, except that every fourth year is a leap year, in which they add a leap day called Shield Meet, which will actually occur this year in 1372 Dale Reckoning. Shield Meet falls immediately after Midsummer Night. Alright, looks like just more zombies lumbering around. Not very threatening, I guess, but here nonetheless. Rod of Frost. Alright, too late. Quite a few of them.
Goddess, take you now!
I'm not sure why Linu's not turning, actually. Unless she used up all her abilities for the day. Alright. Yeah, because we don't have we don't have any control over that. Oh boy. Right.
You just follow me and stay close.
All right, dear. I'm getting to it.
Like our own Gregorian calendar, there are 12 months in a year, but it's simpler. Each month has exactly 30 days. That leaves 5 days of a non-leap year unaccounted for, which are designated as annual holidays. Midwinter, as it sounds, marks the halfway point of winter. Greengrass marks the official beginning of spring. Midsummer, again, as it sounds, marks the middle of summer. Highharvestide, to celebrate the autumn harvest. And the Feast of the Moon, to celebrate ancestors and honor the dead in winter. The bolts are ice cold to the touch, and each bear a short message imprinted on its shaft. Warning, a touch of frost. Bolts of frostbite. Wall of fire. Only 130 more to go. Each month is divided into 3 rides, each ride being a 10-day. There's no such thing as a week. Which can be confusing, as Lilly was told to collect the Lady Don't Care's earnings every week. Though she's not sure what that means, she'll not argue with being paid every 7 instead of 10 days. Or here's the Great Graveyard. The gate to the Great Graveyard is barricaded by rubble and broken carts, likely by frightened locals, and nearby the body of a man in red robes who must have been overwhelmed by the horde of the undead. And the journal of Marcus Penhold. This is Bertrand's brother that went missing. And here's the last entry, likely more prophetic than the writer might have wished. I have hidden with the rest in fear of the plague, but I have no such anxiety about some pitiful shambling zombies. My brother awaits at the shrine the Helmites maintain in the Beggar's Nest, but I will not be joining him. Finally, there is something real to fight. Finally, there is something real to fight, and apparently something fun for the zombies to play with, too. And an interesting if modest wizard staff, with some curious totem effects to the top. What almost looks like a creature's skull. Fashioned by Marcus's great-great-grandfather Marcus Penhold, a traveling scholar. How pedestrian. Lily grips the Penhold heirloom in her hand and can barely sense its power. She is wholly unimpressed. Though the fact that it bears any enchantments at all should make it at least worth a few coin. Continuing with the calendar of Harptos. The months, along with their common names and Gregorian equivalents, as well as annual holidays, are as follows. Hammer, also known as Deepwinter for January, followed by the annual holiday Midwinter. Alturiak, also known as the Claw of Winter, for February. Chas, also known as the Claw of the Sunsets, for March. Tarsak, also known as the Claw of the Storms, for April, followed by the annual holiday Greengrass. Myrtle, also known as the Melting, for May. Kythorn, also known as the Time of Flowers, for June, the month we're currently in now. Flamerule, also known as Summertide, for July, followed by the annual holiday Midsummer, possibly followed by Shieldmeat. Eleasis, also known as Highsun, for August. Eleint, also known as the Fading, for September, followed by the annual holiday Highharvestide. Marpanoth, also known as Leafful, for October. Uktar, also known as the Rotting, for November, followed by the annual holiday the Feast of the Moon, and finally, Nidal, also known as the Drawing Down, for December. Whew. Alright, looks like a zombie was sneaking around the corner. I think I mentioned that already. It's just one of the things you're not really worried about, as they're so slow. Alright. That's really it, though I should probably mention the reckoning of years. There are actually many systems, including Cormyr reckoning, which counts years since the founding of the ruling dynasty House Overskeer. Remember Lily's Cloak of Protection versus Law? North reckoning, which counts Waterdeep years since Ahghairon became the first Lord of Waterdeep. The Mulharan calendar, which counts years since the founding of Skald, the City of Gods, more than 3,500 years ago. Or the Shao, Wa, Ontheric, Aryselmalyr, and Timesong calendars. And ancient calendars like those of the Netherese or Draconic, whose calendar is said to stretch back more than 10,000 years ago. There's even a more modern present reckoning that counts years since the time of Troubles. The most common system, however, is Dale Reckoning, usually abbreviated DR. In Dale Reckoning Year 1, a standing stone was raised as a monument to mark a treaty between elves and men. In particular, the elves of Cormanthyr and the first human settlers of the Dales, the Dalesmen. That happened 1,371 years ago, and so the current year is 1372 Dale Reckoning, which, by the way, was the official Forgotten Realms campaign year for 2001, the year that this game was under development. And then there is the Roll of Years, the standardization of each year with an individual proper name, largely derives from two prophets of different eras. One was Augathra the Mad, also known as the Lost Sage. She was a Netherese scholar who added to the Roll of Years about 400 years before Dale Reckoning. The other was Alaundo the Seer. Yes, the same Alaundo the Wise venerated at Candlekeep, whose prophecies foretold the Bhaalspawn saga among other things, who added to the roll of years almost 500 years after Augathra. These two prophets built on a body of elven lore and prophecy, adding their own foretellings of the future, hidden in the name of each year. A fine silken robe of yellow, with an aura of light around it. Interesting, but much too cheery for Lily's taste. And so, each year has a given name. The time of troubles occurred in the year of the shadows, 1358, Dale Reckoning. Lily set out from Candlekeep in the year of the banner, 1368, Dale Reckoning. She ascended to Duramore in the year of the gauntlet, the following year, and languished in Waterdeep during the year of the tankard and the year of the unstrung harp. The current year, 1372, Dale Reckoning, is the year of wild magic. Next year will be the year of the rogue dragons. It's a rare year that doesn't see some event that seems clearly connected with its name, and most folks view the names as mysterious portents of the years ahead. A barricaded home. It could be Gemini's, though there's something eerily strange about the place. Lily was about to step over the threshold. A wall of force blocks the way as an ethereal voice begins to speak. Only those who follow the serpent may enter. Do you bear the proper sign? Of course, I think Lily's gonna lie. Say she follows the serpent. Infidel! Only those who carry the token are true followers. You shall not pass. Inspector General Black is not happy. Followers of the serpent. They'll be answering her every question till she's satisfied that the sneaky little cultists don't have anything to do with the undead infestation or even the missing water-daving creatures. Once she's found and interrogated Jemanie, that is. At least they didn't claim to be followers of the Horned One or something equally demonic. She's certainly in no mood to battle a tanar'ri again. Lily'd rather just forget Olga's beard altogether. Yeah, actually I have to say I think what would be really useful would be like a wand of knock with 50 charges instead of like we've been finding wands of sleep and negative energy. Olga's beard. That horrible little hamlet. Nothing but sheep herders and fisher folk. Oh, and a haughty wizard who likes to grow mushrooms of all things. Lily asks her meek mystic whether she likes mushrooms. She does, though they have to be fried and slathered with plenty of butter. While Lily surveys a pitiful commoner's vegetable garden, now strewn with gruesome bits of zombie and beggars alike, Linu explains one of her favorite meals: fried bacon and fried tomatoes, covered with a... As she was saying, fried bacon and fried tomatoes, covered with a mound of sliced almonds, and fried mushrooms, slathered with butter, over scrambled eggs and with a pinch of pepper and a few drops of brandy. Lily can't believe little Linu keeps her diminutive form with such a gluttonous appetite. Lily tries to guess how much her cleric and curls might weigh, though Lily wouldn't dare ask. She can't be more than 90 pounds. Lily's only, well, she claims 85, but only because nobody'd believe her if she said 80. Instead, she asks how tall Linu is. Sounding a bit confused, wondering what her height has to do with mushrooms, answers nonetheless. 4'9". Lily smiles. She's 5'2.5", and yes, that half-inch is very important. Though hard to concentrate with canis lupus breathing down her neck, it appears to be arrows of the vampire. Each tip is rumored to be made with a vampire tooth. Imagine that. Some hapless vampire with only 7 teeth. Hopefully the Fletcher left him his incisors among them. Ridiculous. Another barricaded home. Or perhaps followers of the mongoose?